Hello, what's up and what's happening, and welcome back to the channel. We got some more old school football just for y'all. ESPN for 2K5. We're going to be doing a Packers franchise. So one thing about this team is that it is built ready to win right now. Defense, not that great. Offense, pretty darn good. Me playing this game might not be the most appealing thing for you to watch as of right now. Okay, whenever I take a break from 2K, I kind of forget how to play. Passing to me is easier to pick up. Running in this game has always given me fits on legend difficulty. And for this series, I'm not touching the sliders at all. I try to help the receivers to catch the ball a little bit more. It's old school. The quarterback going to complete about 50% of his passes for us and for the computer. So it is what it is. That's just how this game is built. Running the ball can't be hard for this series. Ahman Green is coming off his best season of all time. 1,800 plus rushing yards. If I can't run with him, then I just can't run in this game. His backup running back is Najee Davenport out of Miami. Power back. Love having him as a compliment to Ahman Green. If we can't get this rushing attack close to 2,500 yards, then just shame on me. We have a pretty good offensive line, pretty good weapons on the outside for our man Brett Favre. This roster has some knuckleheads, as we know, but this is football. This is a video game. I'm not going to make too many changes or anything like that, although I did think of a couple that I might possibly make. Brett Favre, he's on a 7-year contract. Most likely, he is going to play out the rest of his days as a Green Bay Packer. We probably will look to find his heir to the throne at some point. I am not going to create an Aaron Rodgers, although I may do a Packers franchise in a newer Madden. Not like a new Madden, that's going to be for my second channel, but like Madden 06, Madden 07, and help Aaron Rodgers. Because in all of my series, even on my second channel, Coach Dawkins, Aaron Rodgers never turns out to be a good quarterback, so I think it would be cool to do that down the line. But we will have 2K5 on this channel, I want to say as a mainstay, because I'm always trying to make Madden harder. And this game is freaking hard to me. So, hey, here's what it is. Let's go over the roster, though. Running back room is pretty good. Again, I want Davenport over Fisher. Right now, Fisher's over Davenport. Don't really like that mix. Henderson, know him well. He was from the Packers' last Super Bowl, and he was there when they lost to the Broncos, and he's been there for the rivalry with my favorite team, the Niners. He has 2 years left on his deal. He's better than Lucci. Lucci has 5 years, so we could just let that play out, have Lucci come in and replace Henderson when that time comes. Receiving room, Ferguson is good at 72 overall last year of his contract. Unless he improves, probably going to let him walk. Ford and Chapman, not really good at receiver that well. Driver and Walker, though, very, very good in the mid-80s. Would like to maybe find a Jennings somewhere in the draft to add to our receiving core. Bubba Franks, he should be our third option. Bubba Franks, last year of his contract out of Miami. I want to say that he was drafted back in the year 2000. I remember throwing the ball to him in NCAA 99. Yeah, that Miami team. I believe that Miami team had Ed Reed, had Davenport, had Dan Morgan of the Panthers. Yeah, it was a pretty solid team. I want to say I'm correct about that. I'm not quite sure. O-line is pretty good. Guard position is pretty good. I want to say that Gary, 67, who's 66 overall, he's starting for us. Not quite sure why. Maybe we'll flip that. Maybe somebody got tired, but I remember in this gameplay seeing him out there, so I got to do some more research there. Chad Clifton, 81 overall. Then you got Tasker. Then Kurt, Curtin, is that how you pronounce it? Curtin, 44 overall. That's rough. And he has 2 years left on his contract, and the penalties will wipe out your salary cap quicker than quick. It's ridiculous. If you make the wrong move in your front office, it can freaking sabotage your whole franchise in this game, which I do like, but it makes me stressed out just a little bit. Then you got Baja Bilamila, 6 years just about 37, just over $37 million for the whole life of the contract. Then we got a bunch of guys on 1-year deals. Campman, 1-year deal there, 66 overall. So I like Campman to get playing time, but we're going to see what happens there. Hannibal, 2 years on his deal. Then you got Diggs and Lennon. They both are on 3-year deals. Diggs, 80 overall. Hannibal, 79 overall. Nick Barnett, 83 overall. Our best linebacker on a 6-year contract. So some of the bigger names, they're locked in. Al Harris, just 75 overall, which is, in this game, it's actually pretty decent, but it's not like all world. It's not like what he turned out to be in his prime at his heyday. So 1 year left on his deal. Got to make a decision about him. Mike McKenzie, who I believe around this time they let go to New Orleans because Harris had stepped it up. He's 87 overall. He has 3 years left on his contract. So there's a good chance that we're probably going to keep McKenzie because, I mean, he's 87 overall and clearly the best cornerback on the roster. But the cornerback room overall is decent, not great. Again, our defense is the weak link of this team. But most likely when we start playing this season, it's going to be the rushing attack that is the weak link of this team. So Joey Thomas, he is a rookie out of Montana State. Decent size at 6'1", 187 pounds. Then, of course, we have the man, the myth, the guy in prison. We have Darren Sharper. Again, I was thinking about maybe releasing him, doing something of that nature. One, because I believe we need assets on defense. We need draft picks to rebuild this defense. We're going to need salary cap to rebuild this defense. But when I was looking at the landscape of the league, Darren Sharper is the best strong safety in this game. He is the best. He's better than Troy Polamalu. He's better than Ed Reed, who in this game is a strong safety. Better than Sean Taylor, who is a rookie. He's 96 overall. Not only was I willing to go after Rod Woodson, but I was also willing to go after Charles Woodson and maybe turn him into a safety. I did that before in the Bills franchise on my second channel with Troy Vincent, excuse me. I just find it awkward in the depth chart to take people out of position and put them into a new position. I just find it kind of awkward. So I thought better of it. I was like, let's just keep things the way that it is. Then Shannon Sharp, he's out there, 1-2 punch for Bubba Franks. And I was like, we can't have too many of, okay? I'm not going to even say it. Jason Sehorn, one of the better corners of the late 90s. Now he's a safety, and I'm going to bring him in. He is 84 overall. Going to bring him in on a 1-year deal. And now we got Sehorn and we have Sharper in the secondary at the safety spots. Preseason football, we're going to beat the Niners, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, beat those New York Football Giants. And we're going to take care of those Miami Dolphins. I might do a Niners franchise in this. That's going to be some work. They are the worst team in this game by far. Carl Ford, he is hurt. He's going to be out for the next 3 weeks to start the NFL season. Then we got our first game of the season versus the Carolina Panthers, the Bears, the Colts, Giants, Titans, Lions, Cowboys, Skins, bye week. Then Vikings at Houston. Then we got St. Louis at home before we go back on the road to take on the Eagles, Detroit, Jacksonville at home. Then on the road to end the year at Minnesota and at Chicago, respectfully. You've seen the roster. You've seen what happened in the preseason. Now it's time for the regular season, and we're taking on one of the best teams in this franchise. The Carolina Panthers, they just lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So this is the best team in the NFC with one of the best defenses in the NFC with Peppers and Rucker and Jenkins on the D-line, Dan Morgan in the middle linebacker spot. Then you got Mentor at strong safety. This defense can cause some problems. Our defense has to prove that we can shut teams down, especially in that rushing attack. Jake Delhomme averaging 201 yards per game last season. Career, though, just 150. We know he spent some time with the Saints. During those Saint years, it was awful. It was bad. Anybody would struggle with that Saints team at quarterback. Maybe not Brett Favre, who is from Mississippi, the right arm gunslinger. The man can put the football through the stomach of a buffalo. This man has an absolute cannon for a right arm, and we're hoping to get him another Super Bowl before his career is done. Just one for him, one for Rodgers, and 2 for the legend Bart Starr. Believe it or not, the most Packers Super Bowls goes to him, and championships overall. There goes Stephen Davis running right through this weak defense. as we force him out of bounds with Sharper. And that's what I don't want to see. I think in the rain we're going to be okay in the passing game when it comes to defending this Carolina passing attack. Musa Muhammad's darn good. Steve Smith is darn good. But can we stop the run? Sharper gets in there for another stop. Gain of 9 there. And the Panthers continue to rock and roll. Steven Davis last year was top 7 in rushing in the whole NFL, top 3 in the NFC with 1,400 plus yards. They're going to run the ball with him again. Sharper's the only line of defense. Makes the play there, and already our strong safety's making all the stops, and that's not a good look. They get the ball to Davis one more time, and we're there to get him in the backfield. Nick Barnett with the TFL, -1 yards there. Man in motion on 3rd down and 6. We come on a 4-3 defense, send a 4-man rush, and Baja Mila gets up in there for the sack, and that's going to bring an end to the drive. We're going to get our first look at Brett Favre, 1st down and 10. Last year, he had 32 touchdown passes, 17 interceptions. Up the gut with Green, and Green gets brought down after a pickup of just 1 yard. So Rucker on the defense, Buckner on that D-line, Jenkins and Peppers going to try to get after Favre. Throwing it over the middle, going to look for Chapman. And that's one of those scenarios where we got to find a way to put Walker or Driver in that spot. I love that post on 3rd down, but the pass is dropped by not a very good receiver. Looking downfield is DeLome, and he overthrows Steve Smith. He had a step. It was still a very tight window, all things considered, and we force a 3 and out. So back on offense is the Packers, taking a shot deep, looking for Martin. The 2nd string tight end showing off his hands there, more of a blocker than a receiver, but I mean every tight end has his day. Excuse me, it wasn't 17, it was 21 interceptions last year for Favre. Gonna find Bubba Franks over the middle. His first catch goes for 5. And now we're starting to move up and down the field. The key for us is going to have to get some explosive plays as we run the ball into the teeth of the defense and we get 4 yards. If we have to string together 12-play, 14, 15-play drives, it might be very, very hard to score. So I'm hoping that's not the case with an offense like this. Last year, numbers for Ahman Green averaged 5.3 yards a carry, 1883, was 2nd in rushing only behind Jamal Lewis, who ran for over 2,000 yards. Looking downfield is Favre. Favre going to get rocked. The ball will not come out. He hangs on to it as Rucker gets in there for the sack. Loss of 4 right there for the Packers. 2nd down and 14. They send a blitz. We throw it downfield. And Walker gets behind the defense, hauls it in. And that's going to be a fresh set of downs. Favre hands this one off to Green. Green going to turn the corner. Going to get brought down by Dan Morgan. Gain of 5 yards there as we spread things out. 2nd down and 5. Favre looking downfield. Throws it. And it's going to be caught by Chapman. Chapman's like, I'm not a very good receiver. I mean, that was a heck of a catch. I mean, I can't lie. That was a beautiful pass, beautiful catch right there. But, I mean, you still dropped the other one. So, I mean, we do appreciate one-hand grabs. But let's catch the easy ones too, big homie. 1st down and 10, our formation. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to go nowhere fast. No blocking to speak of on the right side. And we go down in the arms of Jesse Armstead. Another Miami Hurricane. 2nd down and 11. Brett Favre looking downfield. Dropping way back. Throws it up. Caught. Javon Walker hauls it in and we're inside the 10 with a chance to strike first. We're going to run this one with Ahman Green. Green to the left side. Green going to power through contact. Touchdown Green Bay. So a nice long drive. It wasn't easy. It might not have been the prettiest, but it gets the job done. And that might be our MO all season long, is just string together long drives and maybe try to win ugly. No style points needed. 7-0 Packers on top. 50 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 10. They fake it. DeLome throwing it. That pass caught by Steve Smith. Great tackle by Al Harris. I'm not quite sure Jason Sehorn is going to run down Steve Smith. That would have been a touchdown. DeLome dropping back. DeLome throwing it over the middle, and Jake DeLome's pass once again caught by Steve Smith, and again he's brought down by Al Harris. 2 seconds to go here. Last play of the 1st quarter. Picked off Nick Barnett, and the first mistake is off of the right arm of Jake DeLome. So much for our defense struggling. That 1st quarter we pitch a shutout, and we're going to have some good field position as Nick Barnett walks away with a pick. to end the first quarter of play. So we're going to start the second quarter off at the 37-yard line in Green Bay territory. So our formation for the Packers is going to be Davenport behind Henderson. He's going to power through Mike Minter for a gain of 3 yards there. Looking downfield is Favre, dropping way back. Then he takes a hit. That ball was nearly intercepted. Dan Morgan had it, and a big hit by our O-lineman knocks that ball up out of there. If he doesn't do that, it would have been a pick for the Panthers. So now DeLone throwing it. That pass dropped by Musa Muhammad. Tough coverage and tight coverage by McKenzie. And that pass goes straight to the grass. Second down, 10 yards to go, man in motion. DeLone facing a 4-man rush, throws it to the left side, and that pass is dropped. Tight coverage by Al Harris on Steve Smith. Now they empty out the backfield. So 4 receivers, 1 tight end is caught and then bobbled and dropped. Steve Smith yet again had an opportunity but couldn't secure that football. So we take over from our own 23-yard line. Going to run the ball with Green. Green going to follow his blocking and only able to pick up 2 yards there. But now it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Can we pick up the first down? Going to get this one to Davenport. Davenport up the gut, and he will have a chain mover on that carry. First down, Packers. 2nd down and 10. Give it to Green. Green going to try to find some running room. Got to find a way to sneak back into the inside. This 10 carries 19 yards for Amon Green, but he does have a touchdown here in the first half. Now Favre dropping back, sets his feet, throws it off of the hands of Walker. A big hit knocks that football loose. We got to get the ball back to the Carolina Panthers in a game that has turned into a defensive struggle. That pass caught right at the first down markers. Musa Muhammad, they're going to rule him just shy. DeLone, a pedestrian 33% completion percentage so far today. No touchdowns and just 1 pick. 3rd down and 1. Man in motion. That is Musa Muhammad. 3rd down and 1. They're going to run the ball with Davis. And Davis finds a lane. Davis off to the races. Inside the 20. Can the Packers catch him? No. Touchdown, Carolina. So the Panthers had it on 3rd and 1. And I was using sharper and I overran it. That was supposed to be my lane, but we've already made too many tackles. Where are my linebackers at? But all I know is Stephen Davis has a touchdown, and this football game is tied at 7 apiece. So we take back over. The Panthers have some momentum. Can we take the momentum back and maybe take the lead yet again? 7-yard pickup by Amon Green. Sets up 3rd down and 3. Favre has it. Favre looking for Bubba Franks. That pass caught about 1 inch or 2 above the ground. Bubba Franks showing off those hands. And the veteran tight end out of Miami gives us a first down. 2nd down and 4. Favre under pressure, and Favre going down. Jenkins with the sack. Loss of 5 on the play. Jenkins 5 sacks last season, gets his first of this season. Favre dropping back in to find Bubba Franks. Bubba Franks lowers the shoulder and lowers the boom on Dan Morgan. These two were once teammates. I want to say they were best friends, but there's no love lost here. And obviously I'm speculating. I have no idea how close they were or were not, but he gives the business to his ex-teammate. First down, Green Bay. Favre dropping back. Favre going down again. Witherspoon with the sack, and that is going to back us up 7. So now we're going to be looking at 2nd down and 17. Favre steps up, lets it fly deep, and Donald Driver, get your moss on, right over the head of the DB, snatches that one, and the Packers have a first down. Again, we go backwards just a little bit just to come back, get those yards back, and then some. But if we can string together some positive plays back to back to back, we might have another touchdown up on the scoreboard. Beautiful catch right there by Driver. Now it's 3rd down and 8. They send a blitz. The blitz gets home, but we're able to throw it on time to Walker, who is unable to secure that football. But we are on field goal range for Longwell. The kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. 10-7, Green Bay on top. So from the 27-yard line, the Panthers take over. They get the ball to Davis. Breaks 1 tackle. Takes about 3 Packers to finally bring him down. Davis had himself a day. 7 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. This man's been in the league for almost a decade, and we got to learn how to stop him. 3rd down and 7. DeLome looking. DeLome throwing it. Overthrows Steve Smith yet again. And our defense gets another stop. So can we score before the half is up? Play fake under pressure and down goes Favre. Jenkins, another sack. We cannot stop him. It's actually quite pathetic right now. We step up, we throw it over the middle, caught by Walker. Walker brought down just shy of the first down. We'll burn a timeout, hoping we can pick it up here. So 3rd down and 2, 36 seconds on the clock. We throw it, caught by Amon Green, who was lined up in the slot. And that's going to give us a 1st down. We hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Snap it with 22 seconds on the clock. Brett Favre has it. Favre throws it, caught by Mike Minter. And he's looking to do something with it. Gets brought down at the 47. So that's our first turnover of the ball game. 3 seconds on the clock. Jake DeLome, nothing but receivers on the field. Going to try a Hail Mary. Throws it at the 30. Caught by Prohl, but he's nowhere near the end zone. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. Green Bay 10, Panthers 7. And now it's time for the Chris Berman halftime show. So no surprise that we are leading the game in passing with 144 yards by Brett Favre, 41 rushing yards. Stephen Davis, 87 of those things by himself, just on 7 carries. They've had the ball not that long, just 5 minutes and 58 seconds of total time of possession for them. Us 14:02. Both teams have turned the ball over. Not the best look. We start the highlights with the first play of the ball game, and Stephen Davis was letting us know it's going to be a long day out here in the rain. Although that drive did not end with any points. We will start off the scoring with a touchdown run by Amon Green as he crosses that yellow line. We could have got a 1st down. Instead, we wanted a touchdown. Wanted to hold enchilada. Just 26 rushing yards, though, for Amon Green in the first half. Again, was 2nd in the league in rushing last year. Then Nick Barnett started the turnover contest with the first pick of the season for the Packers defense. But the Panthers would get the ball back, and on 3rd and 1, Stephen Davis would take it to the crib. Secondary is not the fastest. Al Harris might be the fastest guy in our secondary who gets significant playing time, but he was on the other opposite side of the field when that run was happening. Then Donald Driver, get your Moss on. We got to face Randy Moss twice this season. That's a preview what he can do, and maybe a preview what Donald Driver can do for us this whole season. Then before the half was up, Mike Minter would walk away with the INT. Boomer's halftime heroes is either Davis or Jenkins. It's going to be Davis. 87 yards on the ground plus a touchdown. So now it's time for the second half of play. Ferguson from his own 6-yard line up to the 15 and dropped just shy of the 25-yard line. So we're going to kick things off at the 24, 17-yard return by Ferguson. We got Amon Green as the only running back in the ball game. No fullback in front of him, but he's able to run up the field to a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Brett Favre looking. Brett Favre under pressure. Down he goes. Jenkins, another sack. Had 5 last year, has 3 already this season. And it's still what? The start of the second half? It's ridiculous. Favre throws it deep, picked off. Just when he thought it couldn't get worse, we give up another interception as back-to-back possessions with an INT for Favre, and now the Panthers have it at our own 37-yard line. So can our defense answer the call? They're going to run the ball. Stephen Davis trying to get loose, breaks 1 tackle, and then it's Hannibal and Seahorn, that get the stop right there. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. DeLome has it. DeLome going to hand it off to Davis. Davis working his way upfield, and he's not going to get the 1st down. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Can our defense get a stop? Man in motion is Muhammad. They throw it to the left side. Caught. Is that Steve Smith? It is Steve Smith. One of the smallest guys on the field, makes one of the biggest plays so far today as their drive will continue. Davis gets the carry, and then a whole host of Packers lay the lumber. I believe that was Seahorn and Sharper. This could be a decent safety combo, though, here for the Green Bay Packers. Toss play. Sharper can't bring down Davis, and Davis has touchdown run number 2. So both running backs have a touchdown, but right now Stephen Davis has 2 to Amon Green's 1, and he has just given the Panthers the lead for the first time today. Sharper couldn't bring him down. Touchdown Panthers from the 20. Brett Favre takes over. Down he goes again. And if the Panthers defense keeps playing like this, I mean, I don't know if we can come back. That was a sack by Buckner. Now we're going to find Ferguson looking at 3rd down and 3. Minter with the stop there. Favre surveys the field, batted away at the line of scrimmage, and we go 3 and out. So the Panthers take back over. They have momentum on their side. That pass don't picked off. Jason Sehorn. At one point, might have been like the only white cornerback in the NFL in the 90s, and the man was pretty good. The Giants put him in as a punt returner in the preseason versus the Jets. He tore his ACL, and after that, it was kind of all downhill from there. He was one of my favorite players to watch. Anyways, looking downfield, Favre gonna take it. Favre is gonna have enough for a first down. He might have to do that more often. I'm trying not to scramble too much, just because in this game there's no spies. But hey, I might have to do what I have to do to try to win. As we give up another sack, Mike Minter with a sack and an interception so far today. They throw that one up. That was picked off. Sharper's like, let me get my hands on the football, and the pick magnet is going to walk away with a pick right there, and DeLome can't believe it. That's his 3rd thrown interception of the ball game. So down towards the deep back with 3:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and again we got a stick going north and south with these bigger running backs. We got caught going east and west. TFL for the Panthers, loss of 3 for the Packers. Left side, checking it, caught by Walker. Walker hauls it in. That's a chain mover as the Packers have it inside the red zone. 3rd down and 7. Favre going to throw this one out of the back of the end zone. I thought about scrambling. I'm not the best field goal kicker in these old school games, so I'm going to try my best to make sure it's easy for me. So we will knock home that one, and we find ourselves down by just 1. So despite the fact that the Loms thrown 3 picks, the Panthers still have the lead. That pass caught. Steve Smith brought down by Harris. And Steve Smith continues to make plays here for Carolina. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Steven Davis is the deep back, and Davis breaks the tackle and brought down by Barnett, but just shy of the 1st down. So 3rd down and 2. I formation, but they go to the air. They throw it, and Sehorn is there to bat it away. So we make the play in the secondary, and now we have a chance to take the lead back. Running the ball with Amon Green is usually a good option. Today, the Panthers have been up to the challenge, stopping the guy that led the NFC in rushing. Give it to Green again, trying to turn the corner, and I gotta probably utilize a stiff arm there or a juke move, do something, because right now just trying to run away from these guys isn't working. We go back to Chapman. He can make the one-handed grabs, but the ones that hit him right in the chest, no bueno, and that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter of play. So here in Carolina, they have the lead and they have the football, and there's a flag down. Carroll had contact on the receiver, and it will be pass interference. So pass interference on the Packers gives the Panthers a fresh set of downs. 2nd down and 4. Davis gonna go to the outside, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and finally brought down by Barnett. Looking downfield is DeLome, throws it to the left side, caught by Steve Smith, brought down at the goal line. So 1st and goal for Carolina. 2 tight ends, 2 backs. They run it, and Davis finds the end zone as he goes in untouched. Not 1, not 2, but 3 rushing touchdowns for him. Now Brett Favre sacked again, and the ball comes out. Buckner with another sack. The ball is going to be at the Green Bay 9-yard line. 3rd down and goal. DeLome throws it, picked off by Sharper. Sharper has his 2nd interception. Nice juke move on the return, and we take it up to the 12-yard line. 4 interceptions thrown by DeLome, and the Panthers are up by 8. What is happening? Favre is going to tuck it and run it, and Favre will pick up a 1st down. Got to get down a little bit sooner right there as he takes an unnecessary hit. Favre looking downfield, still looking. Now he's running out of time. And he's going to get sacked yet again. Jenkins, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 sacks. Absolutely ridiculous game that's going on right here in the 2nd half. We throw it up top. Picked off again. Again, the Packers turn it over. And again, the Panthers are going to have great field position. Down by 8. Can the Packers defense get a stop? Davis turns the corner. Forced out of bounds inside the 10. 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. They're going to run the ball out of the split back look, and Davis has another touchdown. 4 sacks for Jenkins, 4 rushing touchdowns for Davis. I don't know which one's more impressive. I'm going to say the touchdown runs. Looking downfield is Favre. Favre throwing it. That pass caught by Ferguson. who makes the grab there for a Green Bay first down. Going to spread things out. Favre throws it to the left side. Caught by Walker. Tight coverage. But we know how hard Favre can throw the ball through those windows. Looking downfield. Favre lets it fly. That pass caught by Walker as well. Might be the most gifted athlete in the receiving corps for Green Bay. Looking downfield as Favre stops. Pop's going to find Donald Driver. Haven't seen him since he made that great catch along the sideline. Gets another grab here, and we scored a touchdown to cut the lead down to 9. A 2-point conversion would make it a 7-point game as we run the ball with Davenport. He runs to the back of Henderson, who stumbles, so we get no lead blocker, and we don't convert. And now we go for the onside kick, and we don't get the ball back. So 3:08 on the clock. They're going to drive it inside our 5. They get the ball to Davis. Another one. Touchdown number 5. He's the DJ Khaled of rushing touchdowns. Another one and another one and another one. Favre taking a shot deep. That pass caught by Walker. And we're down by 10. A 2-point conversion can make it a 1-possession game with 28 seconds on the clock. Favre looking downfield, throws it. It's caught by Driver. And that's going to result in a successful 2-point conversion. So 28 seconds got to go for the onside kick here. And it's going to be recovered easily. And that is going to do it for week number 1. Carolina 35, the Packers 27. Although we gave up 35 points and 5 rushing touchdowns, those turnovers in the second half did not help. We had one first half turnover. That was at the end of the first half. And since then, it was a turnover fest. Both teams finished with 4 turnovers. We threw 3 picks and had a fumble, and DeLome threw 4 picks. Not a very good day for him. Amon Green just 42 yards rushing, although as a team, we did run for 113. I believe Brett Favre led the way with about 60 yards rushing. I want to say that's accurate. We're going to check the numbers. 290 yards for Brett Favre today. DeLome just 120. Stephen Davis, man amongst boys, got away from Sharper on that play, and then there was nobody that was going to catch him while he was that close to the end zone. That's a touchdown right there. The game was still pretty close. We're going to send a blitz on this play. DeLome would rifle it quickly, but it was intercepted by Sehorn, who stepped in front of Steve Smith. We couldn't really do nothing after that turnover, so DeLome would get the ball back, throws it up, and it's going to be picked off by Sharper. And yet again, we had a hard time scoring despite the good fortune of these interceptions. So the Panthers will get the ball back. Stephen Davis will walk into the end zone. I believe at that point we're down by 2 scores. So we got to make something happen here. And something happened with not. Not at all. Sacked, fumble, they got great field position, game is over. No, mama, there goes that man again. Sharper with the pick. And that right there gave us life. There was a heartbeat. There was light breathing and a vague heartbeat, but it was still pounding. So now we get the ball back. Brett Favre, we got to do something. He will let this thing fly. Mama, guess what we did? We done turned it over again. The second half was an absolute turnover fest. And then Davis doing what Stephen Davis did all game long. Run the ball deep into our territory and put touchdowns up on the scoreboard. We would get the ball back and we would drive down the field. Favre would find some time, throw it to Donald Driver, and that right there would cut the lead down. We would go for 2 and not get it. They would drive back down the field, and this right here would make the game seem like it was out of reach. But we had one more chance to try to come back, and Brett Favre and that legendary right arm, hey, it was golden today. Looking downfield, he would find Walker, who beat 3 defenders and gets this one across the goal line. We would go for 2. Donald Driver, he would make the catch. So we were down by 8. The onside kick went the Panthers' way, and we would lose. And Stephen Davis is Boomer's player of the game. 5 touchdowns, over 200 yards, 220 on 30 carries. We made him work for it. But that might be the struggle all season long. When they needed a pass, DeLome did kind of hit. He hit with Steve Smith a lot. 120 yards passing for DeLome, but if we can't stop the run, it's going to be a long season. That's going to do it for week 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do hope that the rest of the day is the best of the day. To me again, my friends. Peace, love.
Awesome.